So this is a bit of a random video, but God, I don't know. I don't want to say God told me to say this. This is just something that has irked me and I think there's just been sort of a reflection of what I'm going to speak about now in our country, in South Africa, right? So we have this political party in South Africa called the EFF, which is the Economic Freedom Fighters, right? And the leader of this political party is Julius Malema. Now, I am not a political expert. I can't tell you all the details of the things that happen in all of these things, but I'm just going to refer to him and what he stands for. The thing about him is that he's very extra, man. And when people have been suffering a lot, when people have gone through a lot, people want to see a serious person, a serious individual, and that also talks with serious intent. And sometimes the words are aggressive, and so this is kind of what you lean towards when you've been going through something, right? Or when you've been going through a lot of things. And so I feel like where we are at in South Africa is a good platform and stage for people to manipulate, for politicians more specifically, and for people to manipulate the people of this country, because there's just been a lot of things going on, and obviously the people that are most affected by this is the poor and middle class. Anyway, so there's just this platform for people and individuals in the country to be misled because of the abuse of power in this country and just manipulation and just all of the other things, right? Bad governing, full stop. Anyway, so I think Julius Malema is an opportunist, right? Meaning he sees that there's this stage that people are angry, they're upset. And what he reminds me of, he's doing this thing where he's stirring up anger in the nation, man. And I think this boils down, and you'll see it mostly in the poorer areas and middle class areas. You'll see that effects in those areas mostly. And oftentimes mostly amongst young people. But anyway, so he's doing something there. And it reminds me so of, remember the last video that I did where I mentioned that it's giving crucifying, where I spoke about the Pharisees and how aggressive they were because they wanted Jesus to die, and how they were encouraging other people to feel aggressively hateful towards Jesus so that they can also basically vote and say that they want him also to die, right? So it's giving me that, because this is what Julius does. He has this, he sort of amplifies and perpetuates this negative and this killful and this hateful and this aggressive rhetoric against people that he basically disagrees with, and then also a racial group of people, which in our South African context is white people. Now, I don't know his stance on colored people. I don't think I've looked that far into it. I do not know at all. But I just think it's disgusting, man. Really, it's not good. Now, obviously, from a biblical perspective and a Christian perspective, it's ugly and it's wicked. And like I said, it sort of takes advantage of the poorer people and the middle class people and manipulates them into thinking certain things, and then instills this aggression into them as well, and hate towards certain groups of people and hate towards just people in general. And I want him to know and recognize that we see him, we see what he's doing. And like I said, I don't know what his stance is towards colored people. Now, colored people is just mixed. That just means mixed, for those of you who don't know the context. So I don't know what his stance is there, but I know what his stance is towards white people, right? And it's really ugly. It's extremely ugly and just really wicked, you know? And the fact that there are people also who are leaning towards what he's saying in terms of how hateful he is concerning to me. Even Christians. Like, guys, we cannot listen to this man and think that this is fantastic. This is the hero of the day. He's going to save the day. This is wonderful. No, it's not. It's aggressive. Now, this is my thing, especially to people that, because remember, he's talking about a group of people. He's talking about generally like I said, he's talking about a group of people. And there are individuals in that group that he speaks against that does not do and think the way that he thinks they do. And he, by the way, he knows this, right? He knows this. But he still continues to spew the nonsense that he does. And like I said, it's concerning to see that there are young people that are leaning, young Christian people that are leaning towards these sorts of teachings, these sorts of things that he's speaking on, and the aggressiveness that he's coming with, the aggression. Now, I am not saying that people don't have the right to feel like they've had enough. Really, trust me. I know, because not to an extreme degree, or not to the degree to which certain people have experienced certain things and have understood certain things to just be their reality. Not necessarily to that degree, but I can understand to an extent. Because in our communities, there are also horrible things happening, and usually color people aren't necessarily looked at as valid in certain contexts and in certain environments and in certain spaces. I'm leaving that for another day. But anyway, so yes, so these individuals, these mostly young people, are leaning more towards this sort of rhetoric and this aggression and this negativity. And like I said, even Christian people, even Christian young people. And this is very concerning to me. But like I said, Julius is using the malleability of the minds of these youngsters, the minds of these people who have been tortured by government and abused and maybe just thrown by the wayside by government, to pull them in and lure them in to his nonsense, to his aggression. And like I said, it reminds me so of what the Pharisees were doing when they were trying to encourage the people, and when they were stirring up this negative aggression towards Jesus for him to die, for death, man. Because remember, Julius likes saying, kill the boer. Now the boer in our context, or well, it's Afrikaans, boer just means farmer, but they're talking about white people in general, right? And generally. And so I don't think that the people listening to him is going to be like, oh, here's a white Afrikaner farmer or Afrikaans farmer, I'm going to dislike him and want to kill him. But here's another person who's white, and he's not a farmer, or is not like Afrikaans and a farmer or whatever. So I'm not going to be upset with him or aggressive towards him or her. And I'm not going to want to kill her because she's not, or he's not a farmer or an Afrikaans farmer or whatever it is. They're not going to separate. They're just going to see white and they're going to be like upset, aggressive, want you dead, want you to be killed, gonna have attitude towards you because you exist, right? And so I'm saying the people that listen to him is obviously going to go to the extreme. And so that takes me to another point that I wanted to make. I think that because he is spewing this nonsense now, where people are at the state in the country, where people are at the state of, like I said, we've had enough, he's using it, like I said, to his advantage and to gain more followers. But also, I think it perpetuates aggression. And I think, and like I said, it affects the poorer and middle class areas more so than the less impoverished areas, right? And what I've noticed, and this is just my own noticing this, I didn't even look up the facts or nothing. So this is just what it seems to me, that there is a bigger aggression in people. They are just more hostile and towards certain groups of people. And your great uncle, great uncle could have been white. No? There could have been white somewhere there at some point in time. And they're already going to hate you because your skin color is a bit lighter. And they can see that you're not per se black. Now, let me say this. This isn't everyone. I'm not trying to stir up aggression. Please don't even think that that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to explain what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I think Julius is responsible for to an extent because he has a platform, right? Everyone who has a platform, you have responsibility. So that's why I'm saying his responsibility to a certain extent. Anyway, what I'm saying is that I've been seeing a lot of aggression, really extra disgusting, evil aggression randomly towards people. And now that might not just be towards someone of a different race, even people from your own area, even people with the same skin color as you. Like there's an extra aggression there, man. And I think it's partly him that is to blame because of it. Because, like I said, he's been staying. And when was the EFF established? 2013. So it's been 10 years. Exactly 10 years. And by the way, he must had that stadium filled of his supporters for, I think it's their 10th anniversary. But anyway, that was also problematic because he was all the time saying, kill the boer, kill the boer, kill the boer. And I've explained already what that meant. And you can hear people chanting it throughout the stadium, wherever they were. I can't even remember. But that's disgusting. And if I'm not mistaken, there were people also hurt there, right? But anyway, let me just reel whatever I was saying in Nabiche. Let me just reel it in so you know where I'm getting at. I say all of this to say that Julius, we see you. We notice what you are doing. And because I serve and we serve the God that we do, we obviously leave it in God's hands and we do what we can where we can in terms of not perpetuating what you do. But be careful what you say. Be careful what you are saying and be careful what you are doing. And specifically, be careful with the fact that you are abusing your power and your platform. Because God sees this. Remember, God sees everything. Please understand, God sees everything. Now, I don't know what Julius believes. I haven't looked that up. I don't know. But I serve a God that sees these things, that knows what's going on. And He works for those who love Him. And then also to kings. In the Bible, in biblical, like with the biblical context, it normally talks about kings, normally talks about rulers, normally talks about people who are in charge as kings and princes and all of that language to say that there's people in power, in charge of people, of a lot of people, and maybe they have their own kingdoms, whatever. So God humbles people who are in charge that think that they can abuse His people, right? He normally humbles them. And the thing is, I'm not saying anything, no? Except for the fact that just be careful. Just be careful with what you're saying. Think twice about what you are saying. Think twice about the words that you use. And look, our government hasn't punished him for the words that he uses. Because remember, he has a platform. And if this had to have happened in America, hopefully I'm thinking that this would have been bad. Because obviously they have limitations on what people can say in terms of being aggressive towards certain people. Now, obviously there's favorabilities even there. But there is an issue when you say, kill this. Like you can't go on, you can't say that sort of thing in general public. But yeah, this is a politician of a political party and he has a lot of followers and yet nothing happens to him in terms of punishment. I'm not saying he must die. I'm just saying punished in a good way to say, okay, look, we're stripping you of your party or we're stripping you, I don't know, whatever they can do. They aren't doing it. And that's also very suspicious. But anyway, just think twice about what you're doing. So think twice about what you are doing because God sees you. And take this as like a warning to take a step back in terms of what you are saying and what you are doing. Because it's just really ugly. It's just It's horrible, man. Like, it's almost like, where do you come from? Like, who taught you these things? Like, who instilled this nonsense into you? What makes you think you can do it? It's so wicked. And you are really misleading a bunch of people. And I'm saying, especially with the amount of people that you are misleading, God is seeing you and He is looking at you right now. And He knows what you are doing and the intention that you have behind it. Really, right now. He knows that this is what's going on and what's in your heart. You cannot hide that from Him. And even though the people that are following you might not even know your intent, maybe they do. Maybe that's what their intent is. But you're still stirring that up. And you are being the devil in their ears when you are saying what you say. And I'm just saying that you need to be careful, watch out, because God will deal with you. He deals with those people, right? And He deals with the people who mislead people. But anyway, let me just say that, because I can't say anything for sure, whatever. But just look at what you're doing, man, and recognize that you shouldn't be talking the way you do. Be that as it may, guys, I still think we should pray for him. I still think we should pray for the people who follow him, who think that what he's saying is good, who think that what he's saying makes sense, who thinks that this sort of person or this sort of understanding of things is the right way to go. And pray for just that intent there. And that stirring up, whatever is stirring that up inside of them, and whatever is amplifying that inside of them, should be rebuked. And so anyway, so I'm just saying we should pray for that. Pray for them and pray for that as well. And just pray for the safety of all people in this regard. And yeah, there's a lot happening in South Africa, guys, but this doesn't make it better. What he's doing does not make it better. And I think he needs to be, let me say, brought to justice in terms of dealt with in the right way, law-wise, for what he says and what he does. And I think he needs to be looked at for what he's doing, because if I have to say something random at like work and I'm being aggressive towards a group of people and I say, kill, I don't know, Spanish people, I don't know, do we have Spanish people? I don't know. But if I say like, kill white people, kill black people, like that's, it's ugly. They will not take that as just, okay, this is just me. That's ridiculous. You can't say that. It's unprofessional and it's just ugly and wicked and it's inexplicable because it's so extreme. And anyway, like I said, it's ugly. So I don't think that should be accepted in a political party. Okay, also just so by the way, if the dare to say that about like all the VFA plus and they'd say kill the black people, what was going to happen to them? If their leaders had to say that, what was going to happen to them? So all I'm saying is that people are people. People have gone through different things, yes. Some people have gone through similar things. You can't talk like that about people. You can't. Doesn't matter who you are. And it shouldn't be okay for you to talk like that about people in general, because every life has value. Every life has meaning. Because I believe in the God that I do, every life has value and every life has meaning. And because I believe in the Bible, people go wrong, people sin, they do nonsense. That still means that their life has value, right? People, if a country has a punishment for certain things that people do, okay, they have that punishment. There's nothing that can be done about that. But you can't go around talking like that. Because this isn't how you talk about God and the people that He created. I'm very sorry. You can't do that. So I just highly dislike what you're doing, sir. Highly dislike. I don't say hate, because actually, I can't say hate. I can't say I hate what you're doing. I'm not saying I hate you. Because God says we should hate evil things. And we should really dislike evil and the things of evil. And anyway, so that's what I'm saying. I actually really dislike what you say. Hate what you say, in fact. It's ugly. But like I said, I'm not saying I hate you. Because I also think that, like I said, you're an opportunist. Yes. But anyway, guys, random, very off topic, very very random for me to be talking about, because I'm not a political person in terms of someone that like comments on political things. I do have discussions with people about certain things, but I was just like, the one morning I wake up and I'm like, because I saw something and I heard something and I was like, this is way too much. So he needs to be checked. I don't know in what way. I just feel like it's not okay, and you shouldn't be okay with that as a country. So just thought I'd note that and speak on that. And yeah, anyway, guys, like I said, this is a bit different, but I hope that it makes you think. I hope that it makes you look at things in a biblical way and makes you want to move more towards God and more towards His righteousness, His kingdom, and far away from negative things, far away from wickedness, far away from foolishness, far away from evilness, far away from the things of this world and the evil ideas of this world. It should make you want to move away from these things. But anyway, just move closer towards God. Pray about this stuff. Pray about these things. Pray about the political state of the country. Pray about everything happening right now. And ask Him and seek Him for guidance. Not Julius. Not Julius. Right? Okay. Anyway, have a blessed week further, guys. Have a blessed day. Enjoy whatever day this is that I'm posting on. But yeah, have a good one. And God bless.